8:33 is the time. It's AM 650 KGAB Radio. My name is Glenn Wood. Thanks for joining me. Sitting in the studio, a couple of people that I saw made some news. What was it, last week that I contacted you? Yeah. So, and I thought, you got to get you two into the studio because I think this is pretty important local interest. Christian, say your last name again. I'm going to blow it.
Sierocki.
Sierocki. Okay. You know what that sounds like? It's something I would order at a Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
It kind of does.
Lot,
you do. Yeah. Okay. You should just go to a Japanese restaurant and order the Sierocki and see what you get.
There we go.
Sure. Toss that out there. Okay. And this is Lane sitting over here. And I had to ask you, Lane, when you need to sit a little bit closer to the microphone there, but I had to ask you when you came in, how's the arm? What happened to the arm?
So one day in PE, we were playing a Sharks and Minnows game. And one of the bullies, he pushed me up against the wall, and then I fell down and broke my arm.
Oh, I mean, that was a complete break then, huh?
Yep.
Okay, because I was wondering when I looked at the pictures, I thought, was that just a strain, or was that a sprain or a break, a complete broke?
His arm.
Okay.
Almost all the way through.
Is this something that's been going on for a while in school, or was this like a one-time incident?
Nope, it's been going on since probably about the same time last year in school.
Okay.
He was struggling last year with the whole new setting, new teacher, and his friends were mostly the same, but they've condensed the classroom down. And of course, these bullies they were his friends. Mm. So he would think, nothing of the bullying at the time until it started getting continuous all the time. And none of the teachers acknowledged it. Okay, so friends, so I assume that when the bullying was going on, most of the time you were not the target, but suddenly you became the target? Okay, because I say that because that's how it worked out for me in school, too. People that I thought were nice people, at some point, it just kind of turned. Was it an all-at-once turn, or was it just gradual over time, you became the target?
It was like over time.
Okay. Talk to teachers about it?
Yeah, I talked to the principal and all the teachers that I had when they were bullying me. Okay. And what kind of reaction did you get out of that? Did they try to do anything? Did they punish anyone or investigate anything? They took away the recess, like 2 recesses, and that was it. Okay. At what point, Mom, did you get involved and decide, okay, I got to go talk to them about this?
It was earlier this year. So about August, September-ish. September, probably. He came home almost distraught because, he'd been called the same names again. Right. And then they brought my daughter into it, calling her some very vile names. So it was kind of like what are they going to do about it? So that's when I stepped into the school and was like, this is what my kids are telling me are going on, and they investigated, quote unquote, I'm doing the whole air quote thing, because they, claim they talked to everybody. They talked to him when I was not around. And, he felt forced to recant his statement because they had isolated him at that point.
Did they ever bring the other parents in?
Nope. Okay. The other parents had no idea until my dad had gotten hold of them and said, hey, these boys had been in our house, and he's been to their house, and it's been, so, it wasn't like these parents didn't know who we were. Okay. Now, that's when it's going on at school, you have to go talk to the people at school. Yep. When it's not going, did it ever happen outside of school? Not really. Mainly isolated to school? Because that makes me wonder, then, would you go to the other parents and talk to them privately? And that's what we did. Okay. Because and it was kind of funny because they reacted in what in the world are you talking about? They had no phone call, no record, nobody had gotten a hold of them and said, hey, your kid's being investigated right now for an incident that happened. Mm. All right. So then the whole incident where the arm is broken, has anything changed? No, we were told, so we put in a formal complaint through the school district, wrote everything out, I was sitting in all their classrooms. I have 3 children. So I was sitting in all their classrooms so that they felt safe. They didn't have to feel targeted. They had somebody to sit by. And then as soon as his arm was broken, I was like, no. I went in, pulled my other 2 kids out of school. I was like, you failed my kids. You failed to keep them safe. The one place that's supposed to keep them safe refused to. So we went and filed a formal complaint with the school district. Mm-hmm. And the papers we got back were stating that they couldn't investigate because I'd pulled all my kids out of the school. They couldn't even look into it because I'd pulled them out of the school.
So where do you go from here then? I mean, I saw the publicity. I mean, not only did it kind of go viral locally, but you made some other local media as well, which is what called my attention to it.
Okay.
So then are you continuing this, or where does it go from here?
I'm going to school on my own, and I had a chance to talk to Liz Cheney's representative, and she told me to reach out to Jillian Ballows, who is the superintendent of
the Wyoming superintendent of public instruction, but I shortened that. She's the school marm.
Okay.
Okay, I just call her that.
Makes it a lot easier.
It's so much easier, yeah. But anyway, so you reached out to her, but now can she do something? Because oftentimes that department refers you back to the local school district. Is that what happened?
I don't know yet. I'm still waiting for a response. And then, Liz Cheney's representative was explaining to me, go to the legislatures, go to, make it public knowledge that this is happening. An Uplift actually is doing a thing next Friday at 6:30 for, parents of children who have been bullied, who have had no voice in this matter, to kind of get together and, be able to vent, be able to hopefully come up with some kind of plan so it doesn't happen again.
Okay. Now, I'm not familiar with Uplift, so who are they? How do they work?
They are kind of a representative for schools, for like the families of the school children.
Okay.
That was, I'm trying to think, because I'm kind of at a loss, because they were talking to me about, they used to do the Alveus bullying prevention program, and they have stopped doing that. They have stopped doing any kind of bullying prevention program. So I'm kind of, my biggest wonder, okay, you have all of these federal fundings coming through the school district. Where are those funds going? They are not keeping my kids safe. It was a physical assault that they refused to investigate.
And the broken arm didn't make them step up and do anything?
Nope. Okay. The school district blew it off because I pulled my kids from school, so that negated all of their responsibility.
The KGAB Wyoming Wake Up with Glenn Woods on AM 650.
8:43 is the time. It's AM 650 KGAB Radio. And if there's anybody who wants to talk about this, because I know we have some ex-school teachers and other people who used to work even in the state of Wyoming listening right now. Christian is sitting here. Their son Lane sitting right next to him over there, and they are talking about a school bullying incident, which so far looks like nothing is being done. Again, you had taken your kids out of school. Well, there's nothing we can do about it now, but it sounds to me like they would want to just for fear of a lawsuit. Is that a possibility?
Well, that was kind of my thinking. I'd rather not take it that far if I don't have to.
Okay. What would you like to see them do?
Change their bullying procedures.
Okay.
I think the investigations that they go through, I don't believe are... They're not allowing these children to have any kind of a voice.
Okay.
They're going to grow up learning they have no voice, and they're going to react on that.
Okay. Okay. So would you like to see, you mentioned federal funding for anti-bullying stuff. Well, in other words, what would make you want to bring your kid back to school or kids back to school? I mean, what could they do to make you finally look at it and say, okay, it's safe to bring them back to this school now?
I think the administration needs to change.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of, they're just blowing it off. Yeah. Okay. They're burying it. They're not facing. It almost seems to me, and it might be just my opinion, but it almost seems to me like they are taking this money and like showing the rest of the entire world that we have no problem, which is actually not true at all.
Okay. When you said you're with this group, they, I guess, have more than one parent who's got a problem like this. I mean, so how many are we talking about here? Just a ballpark number in the area.
Okay, so on my original post, within the first 24 hours, there were at least 300 other comments of families telling their stories and, this is what's happened to me. Oh my God, somebody went through the same thing kind of thing. With the one from CBS, they did the same thing, and there were, right around the same amount of...
Is anybody organized at all, or is it just people talking at this
These
point?
are like individual families.
Okay. Well, that would be a scary thing if they all got organized at some point.
Yeah.
What schools? First of all, what school did he go to?
Keyword.
Yeah. Okay. And what grade?
5th.
5th grade. Okay. And your kids are all in the same schools, or
same
where
school.
Are they? Same school. Okay.
Yep. I had a 2nd grader and a 6th grader as well.
Because I'd be interested to hear what's happening in other schools out there. No, I did, when I read your story, one of the first things I thought is, okay, look, Wayne, growing up, there's bullies. You got to learn how to deal with them. It happens, and you got to learn how to deal with bullies. The biggest thing that I learned with my defense mechanism was my sense of humor. But if I had to fight back, I knew how to. But I mainly diffused the situation with a sense of humor. But that was me growing up, and I understand it's going to happen. The disturbing thing, the reason I asked you in here, is when you went to the school and complained about it, that nothing was done there. Sure, you did the right thing. I think talking to the other parents about this, they had no idea. Good to teach your kids how to handle bullies. That's always a smart thing to do. But that still leaves us with the question of, well, then what are the schools going to do? So when you went to the school marm, Superintendent of Public Instruction, too long of a title. You went to the school marm. Did they say anything back yet at all, or just
nothing as of yet?
Okay.
We did, again, with the formal complaint that we put in, the school district themselves, like the superintendent of the schools and that kind of, he's the one. The Chris Zimney that was supposed to be the voice for us for bullying and stuff like that, never once reached out. Never once, didn't even know he existed until the CBS News Channel 5 did their story.
Okay.
If you're, if you figure, especially a school, you don't want to get in trouble, you would think you'd hand out names. Yeah, you don't talk to this person. This is the one who's in charge of all of it. This is the one who oversees all of it.
Well, with enough publicity, now between the Channel 5 and being here and so on, with enough publicity out there, do you have a game plan to continue on from here? Do you know what steps you take? You're taking some pretty good steps, but do you know where you go from here, or you're fishing around?
I would like to see more people get involved. Okay. I'd like to see more parents of, that have come forward on these things, even from past, it's going on decades that people are coming forth by, this is exactly what happened to me in school. Yeah. So it's been a problem forever. And I still don't think that it's ever going to be alleviated. I think how we handle it is what needs to happen.
That's part of what I was getting at when I was saying there's always going to be bullies. You're going to have to learn how to deal with bullies. You know? And so, okay. But yeah, how they deal with it, though, is and how the school steps up to it would be interesting to hear. Okay. Yeah. So do you want people to get in touch with you?
I would love it.
How do they do that?
I would love it. You can find me on Facebook. I have it. I keep sharing the story every time it pops up. Okay. I will do the same thing for your story. I'll keep sharing it every time it pops up. But yeah, find me Kristen Sierocki on Facebook.
Yeah. Just drop information and maybe you guys can get organized and get something moving then.
Yep. I will be at the Uplift meeting next Friday.
Okay. Where, when, what time?
It is on Ridge Road, I believe. Let me find out.
Okay, Ridge Road, I think we pretty much know where that is.
Yep.
And you're going to have a call coming in, so when she's done looking at up, Mom is going to have to borrow the headphones over there in order to hear this call. And Ridge Road, Friday...
3701 Ridge Road.
Okay. Yeah. 3701 Ridge Road, Friday, what time?
At...
Scrolling.
Yep. At 6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. Okay. Hand Mom the phones over here. She's got a call coming in. This is Glenn. Who's on with us?
Hi, Glenn. This is Chris.
Yes, sir.
Cheyenne. Hey, there's state law that the state and the school system have to educate children. Okay. Now, if she had to pull them out because of the bullying and they didn't take care of it, they're still obligated to educate her children. So they either need to come up with an alternate choice for her to go to one of the private schools around town or make accommodations to have these kids educated. They are obligated by law to do that.
Okay, and that brings a good question for me then. Where are they going right now? Are you homeschooling or what's going on?
Yep, I took them out of the public school system and I put them into the WIVA, the Wyoming Virtual Academy.
All right, everybody keep an eye on our website because this story I'm going to put up with your interview there so they can hear the interview again and get all the information on the meeting as well. And I would love a follow-up. Keep in touch with me because I would love a follow-up to find out how this works out.
Cool.
All right, both of you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
AM 650, KGAB.